4. We're live, Mr. Chairman. I yield, sir.
Night. Good night. Thank you, Leonard.
Good night,
It's a
sir.
pleasure sitting in your company, sir.
The pleasure
And
is mine,
I
Mr.
know,
Chairman.
welcome our viewers and listeners once again to our Belizean Affairs Show number 454, Leonard.
Yes,
Blessed
sir.
Monday, 29 June 2026. Um, shall I say this, Leonard? We were off for a week,
Yes, sir.
right? I know that I gotten some calls and want to know what happened.
The one if they finally find a way to get we have,
You
no?
forget we have
No.
the.
That time not going yet.
Yeah, that
They're gonna leave us
hasn't
to get
happened.
before they reach we.
Just had a little house cleaning to do, right, Leonard? And we had
Yes,
done
sir.
that, and
Well,
we're back.
let me confess to the
You
public,
want to confess?
or
Go ahead, Leonard. Confess. Confess.
I was traveling, so I was unavailable, and we couldn't launch the program without my computer system available, because last time I traveled with it, I almost lost it. So this time I figured I wouldn't try and take it so as not to get into that same kind of problem. But we're off
Yes,
and running,
sir.
and we're good. We're good.
Yes,
We're back on
sir.
the track.
Yes, sir.
We stay up on track, like
Stay on
we're on
track.
different kind of track.
Leonard, as always, time is of an essence. And for viewers again, once more, our Monday night chairman, Mr. Gregory Brackett. I am the Wednesday night chairman. Leonard is the Friday night chairman, and but he um is somewhere in the back,
I think
usually.
you might be loading something,
Yeah, doing
because
the
I also need to confess this, that I sent out the links a little bit late. No, so he
yeah.
probably is still trying to load up what he needs to load up on the
Yes,
program.
yes, he has his program cut out, and as soon as he shows himself up, because he can bring himself in, and I will graciously pass the program to him because it's his show for tonight, Monday night. Leonard, there's a lot going on, my brother. It's a never-ending saga. But we here on Belizean Affairs show, Leonard, we speak truth and we call out the ills as we see it. A lot do not like the way we present ourselves because we are too direct. We are too truth with the truth, right? We come too truthful.
And
They're already
forceful.
used to, yes, sir. The nation already used to how the media houses dissect the truth. I don't know how you can do that. Truth is truth and lie is lie, right? But they have a way of dissecting the truth and put it in little pieces, right? But we don't do that. Well, at least I haven't seen us done that yet, Leonard, over the many years. We are to the point.
Yes, sir.
Some like us, some do not want to hear us, because the truth is always hard to bear. So, Leonard, on that note, we'll ask you, my brother, to lead us in a prayer, sir. Then I will do a reading.
I'll go ahead, Mr. Chairman, and say the prayer. Divine loving Father, thou who art the creator of heaven and earth and all that in them are, as well as our creator, into thy hands we commend ourselves once more, asking that thou would hear our humble expression of gratitude to you for giving us the privilege of life, first and foremost, and secondly, for giving us the opportunity to have lived long enough to still be here among our family members, friends, and loved ones.
Amen.
We pray that thou mayest bless our country of Belize, its people, and its leadership, that thou would bless this country as well, its people and leadership, that thou would bless the rest of humanity, loving Father. Thou knowest our hearts, our desires, you know more secret thoughts. Thou knowest the trials and tribulations and travails that we are undergoing, with earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes, volcano eruption, wars here and there and everywhere, rumors of wars,
Amen.
and the loss of people's lives and livelihood, as well as their limbs. We pray that thou would continue to have mercy upon us, And for those who have need of food and clothes and shelter, may Thou provide for them as well. Please bless this program tonight that whatever we have to say, may it accrue to the benefit of our people of Belize and the country, as well as our Belizean people at home and abroad. For us, His mercies in Jesus' name. Amen. Take it
Amen.
back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Leonard, for that warm prayer.
You're
Country
welcome,
needs
sir.
it. The world needs it. Um, Leonard, I want to always clarify that our program is not a church program. We just serve the one God, and we know that there is a God, and we give thanks and praise. So every time we sit here,
Amen.
and on that note, Leonard, thank you, and I want to give thanks and praise to the Almighty because for this day, because we always say tomorrow, and we know tomorrow is promised to no one, Leonard. So
Yes,
give
sir.
thanks and praise, for being here and for the air we breathe. And thank you, Leonard. I'll go to a reading, Leonard, from Ecclesiastes, chapter 6, 14 to 15 to 25, and it reads, "In my vain life, I have seen everything. There is a righteous man who perishes in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man who prolongs his life in his evil doing.
Mm-hmm.
Be not overly righteous, and do not make yourself too wise. Why should you destroy yourself? Be
Amen.
not overly wicked, neither be a fool. Why should you die before your time? It is good that you should take hold of this, and from that withhold your hand, not your hands. For the one who fears God shall come out from both of them." It means folding your hands, right, Leonard?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Wisdom gives strength to the wise man more than 10 rulers who are in a city. Surely there is not a righteous man on earth who does not, who does good and never sins. Let me read that again. Surely there is not a righteous man on earth who does good and never sins. Do not take to heart all the things that people say, lest you hear your servant cursing you. Your heart knows that many times you yourself have been have cursed others. All this I have tested by wisdom. I said, I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which has been is far off and deep, very deep.
Mm-hmm.
Who can find it out? I turn my heart to know and to search out and to speak wisdom and the scheme of things and to know the wickedness of folly and the foolishness that is madness. And I find searching more bitter than death. I find something more bitter than death. The woman whose heart is snare and net, and whose hands are fitters. He who pleases God escapes her, but the sinner is taken by her. Behold, this is what I found, says the preacher. while adding one thing to another to find the scheme of things which my soul has sought repeatedly, but I have not found. One man amongst 1,000 I found, but a woman among all these I have not found. See this alone, I found that God made man upright, but they have sought out many schemes. That's my reading, Leonard. The last one says, God has made man upright, but they have sought out many schemes. That's my reading from Ecclesiastes, Leonard, chapter 6, 15 to 25. My brother, we here on Belizean Affairs Show, we are about people and nation always, and you know, um, we are the voice for the voiceless, and we lobby, on their behalf, right? We are true patriots of our nation,
Yes, sir.
and we call a spade, right? Um, and we are in the hurricane season. Again, um, I call on the authorities to 2026. It's time for the nation of Belize to have adequate shelters for the people, and for those who seek shelter. As I speak, we have no adequate shelter, Leonard, in case of a disaster in terms of a hurricane. And from the time of memorial, Leonard, you know that hurricane is June to November. For before I was born, that's what happened in the nation of Belize. And one would say that, you know, 2026, things would have been better, for the people. Um, so again, through our medium, Leonard, we call the government, to do the right thing for the people. You know, it's not that they haven't gotten millions of taxpayers' dollars over the many years, and it's not because they haven't gotten some nice grants and nice donations and thing to upgrade for the people, but it hasn't happened, right, Leonard? So I'll let you, you know a lot
Uh,
about that. So I'll,
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Uh, a little short comment is that,
yes, sir, yes, sir.
yeah, thank you
As we
for
are in the season,
allowing me the
Leonard.
privilege. Uh, as you alluded to earlier, sir, that it is generally known that June to November is the hurricane season, and before June, we're supposed to be preparing just in case we have a hurricane. But no preparation has been done. And the reason why is because they claim there's no money. They don't have money to do what's right on behalf of the general public. That is to build or repair the facilities so that people can have somewhere to go in case there's a hurricane. But as we are now finding out, there are a lot of different government departments from which money is being embezzled, from which money is being collected by vendors, preferred vendors at that, who are not being put through the process of bidding. And when they supply whatever they're supplying to the government, who is to tell how much the markup is? If they're actually delivering all those goods that they're claiming that they will deliver. And I can assure these Belizean people that those vegetables and some of the other things that are being provided to the police department and to the Coast Guard and to the BDF military personnel and others, as well as for pantry bags or bags for some people in different divisions. Those things are being bought in bulk from across the border. The money is not even going to supply or to provide an income to the basic Belizeans who could be providing those services. So they give these contracts without proper process to their own brothers and sisters and cousins and uncles, aunts, and whatever not. As in the case of one minister, he got up in the house and boasted about he has 10 family members that are involved in the business, getting assets or material wealth from the government. And it's when they come strong. The man gets up there and boasts about all this kind of criminal conduct. Now he is being investigated, and the process keeps going on as if nothing is wrong. Because as far as I could see, nothing is going to come out of this investigation, just like the Buna investigation and like the previous Senate investigations, more than one, by the way. And we could go on and on and on. Why? Because we have onerous, treacherous, devious scofflaws running our governance system. Of course, they can claim that, oh, well, they are the government because they were elected, they were trusted by the people. But the people didn't trust them to become the government for them to violate the Constitution and break the law and fatten themselves at the trial. Because the law says that they're not supposed to do that anyhow in the first place. And the people did not elect them for them to do that. So I would say, Mr. Chairman, some of these people belong in jail, and the quicker the better. I yield back to right now, sir.
Thank you, Leonard. You're so right, because that is what's going on in the country as we speak right now. That is public out there, public domain. We see it playing out. And it's not done yet because people are making inquiries and they have the right to do so. They're taxpayers and it's public and they work for the public. They don't work for whoever they think they work for. They work. If they do not know, we are telling them through our medium that the public is the one that is paying them, the taxpayers.
Mm-hmm.
Always remember that, from the prime minister all the way down to the janitors, right? So, we have been talking about our condition of our highways, and you have had bad experiences, like myself, on our, and it's not just right now, Leonard. And then, for the nation and the world to know that billions of taxpayers' dollars has passed through the two-party system hands to build proper roads, because some of them are charging for 1 mile million and odd dollars, for a mile of road, right? And look at in return what the people get.
Mr. Chairman, that road that you're speaking about right now, sir, is not $1 million+ per mile
with the B
new road.
Yeah.
It's newly surfaced old roads. In other words, roads that were already built. All they had to do was prep a little bit here, there, and everywhere, and just but anyhow,
throw some tar on it, right, yeah. Leonard? Throw some tar on it. Yes, but sir. Leonard, I say this to say that many of us Belizeans traverse the roads and highways in Belize. Many of us, right? And the horrible experience we get. Horrible. And we got to keep calling these people out there, because they keep doing the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. and getting money to do the same thing. You know, Mr. Espat, you know the amount of money passed through his ministry. And the road, the Boots Martinez before him was Ministry of Works, and the rest before him, right? The amount of billions of dollars. And then what I'm saying is it's the same damn piece of road these guys get money
over and
to
over.
do. And not only these ministers that in charge of the road department, no, other ministers, they lobby for money. Chancellor Lever is one, lobby for so many millions of dollars to surface certain part of Roaring Creek and Kamalote and little out of Belmo Pond. I could remember that for a fact, right? And it's not leave it and money I'm talking about, you know, Leonard. And you know where this money go? To some special little contractor, and then that little contractor kick him back a little some percentage, right? And what does the public get? You get in accident, you get trapped in some big damn potholes, messed up your vehicles. I'm talking because you know these things going to keep happening. That's my point. I say if these criminals, these crooks, you see them coming out of the bag one by one, do the right thing with the money. 1 mile of road, do it properly. UDP do 1 mile properly. PUP do another mile properly. At the end of the year, you know how much good road we will have? But what they do, like you say, Leonard, you know, they throw some, you know, they throw some white marl on the road, on the sides of the road, and they really look nice and pretty, and they throw some tar on it, and that's your millions gone right there. When the rain comes, Leonard, you know what happened again, right? Some of these roads, they have gotten money, you know, to do better on the sides of the road, the little off drop, right? They have not. They know the problem, you know, and they go and they lobby in the house for that to do that, you know. These minister of works, right? Past and present, they know the damn problem, so they go and they get that money for that problem. But in the end, like I say, the public gets crap. Money is gone, and you drop your wheel off of one of those side of the road there. You know what happened to you?
Tire blow out.
Right?
That's the inside part of the tire get choked before.
Yes.
And the tire blow out, and then you start spinning all over the road.
And they see that they do nothing wrong, Leonard. They see that they do nothing wrong. They do, oh, we have the best highway, and yes, right? And they have no problem spewing these crap out of their mouth, right? And publicly too, you know. Publicly. Right? So that really bothers me. Maybe I'm the only one that drive these roads, and I'm the only one that it bothers. Maybe, right? So that's why I'm saying it, because it bothers me, right?
We have these road traffic accidents, you know, I mean, almost on a regular basis now. One person died here, another person died there, 2 or 3 more died somewhere else, and you know it's pathetic, because like it just keeps going on because you have the same drivers them driving and acting the way they're acting, and they don't care about themselves much as anybody else. Otherwise, we'd have less accidents. People will just slow down a little bit, but they want to get to where they want to go, you know, ahead of time. They want to beat the time. And as a result, they're driving mechanical, you know, a vehicle has hundreds and hundreds of parts, any one of which could fail at any given time. But then they're driving like mad person like that. They're not thinking on that level. They're not concerned. You know, when the accident happens, as far as they're concerned, especially those big dump trucks or the big trailers then, you know, or the big rigs then, you know, they brush past those little vehicles, and just the breeze from, you know, the big vehicle that passes, the small one shakes the little vehicle. Sometimes that's what causes some of those vehicles to run off the road. That the driver is either drunk or half asleep, or doesn't have enough driving experience to counter that type of activity, you know. And it's sad because a lot of people don't reach home. Sometimes they're the only breadwinners, and those families are left mangled. Sometimes the family members are in some of those vehicles. They're left all broken up with hospital bills, and nobody else left to provide for them. And our system doesn't have a welfare situation where people could go and receive help on a regular basis. So it's sad. And you got Mr. Chairman.
And Leonard, I I wonder, Johnny Brisseno, the Prime Minister of this country, traverse this road on a daily basis, Monday to Friday. And he come all the way from Orange Walk. All the way from Orange Walk. Unless if he has, big houses along the way, and he sleeps in one every other night or closer. I'm just saying, no, I don't know. But I think that he comes all the way from Orange Walk. And likewise, Mr. Los's spot. He drives this road. He is the Minister of Works. I wonder what these people, see when they're driving and sudden one this big pothole appearing in front of them. Big damn pothole,
There's an airport at Belmopan, and there's an airport in Orange Walk too, I think. So I wouldn't doubt if these men maybe sometimes take a little plane instead of driving. That's why they don't know the difference. Or at least they don't know that what's happening with the road, maybe, or nobody tells them.
See,
that could be a plausible excuse.
Right, sir. But then, like I say, I'm driving and sudden some big in the middle of the road, not on the side, road that is just newly resurfaced and newly built, like months ago or a couple of years ago, and suddenly when you're driving and this big pothole, big open hole appear in front of you. Right? Well, yet it's the fault of the driver. It's the fault of the driver, right? So maybe one day, Leonard, they're gonna get a big fat lawsuit. God forbid, right? Maybe one day, the government in power, whether it's a UDP government or a PUP government or whoever government in power, that they will get a big billion-dollar lawsuit, right? For these bad roads and the amount of deaths that, scars on these bad roads.
Mr. Chairman, didn't we heard recently that the biggest part of the budget, I think it was like $700 and something million was for infrastructure? From the same government in place now that was the opposition a few years back that was telling the government of those days that we can't eat roads.
Same thing.
But roads are where we make the most money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can't eat roundabout. Can't eat road. You hear them set up the same government, right? You see? And they're doing the same thing, Leonard, the same thing. They will be gone, the other one will come, and they will do the same thing, and that's where the money is at.
I saw the reporter picked up a piece of them, the road, the surfacing from the road, and he rolled it and squeezed it like a piece of marley. So he was saying it looked like they're putting down marley for trucks to run on now, instead of for people to walk on.
See. I mean,
it's pitiful, man.
So, and why we say these things, right? We say these things, Leonard, because you and I know that to every time we have a rain, there's only a certain portion of the roads are flooded, right, Leonard?
Yes,
from the time of memorial, right? And Leonard, they have got consultants even from abroad, engineers from abroad, and we have our own engineers here too, Ban, right here in Belize, right? And they traverse these roads from there where they were kids and up to as I speak. nothing has been done to make these roads better that are prone to flooding when it rains. It's a repetitious cycle. But what they know to do is to go to the house and sucker the taxpayers' money again. You know, we got to do that piece of road there to in Hattieville, you know, out to Hattieville and 3 miles and 2 miles and in that swamp. You know, we need to elevate it because you know it's very bad. All they need is to get that voucher, and that's history, right? History. Next rainy time come, same flooding again, right? They're going to get money again. The airport road, you know how much money I know that the same man Julius Espat went and get in the house to repair a certain portion on that airport road, right? That is close to the river. What is the result? It's like the SOEs that they've been passing. What is the result? Why they do these things? I'm just saying, right? Because you know somebody got to say something about it. You know, it's not like you know it's like a UDP money that they hustle from wherever or a PUP money. That party I'm talking, right? Oh, no, my party or PUP, we gave so much billions to do the no, hell no. Or a UDP, we gave some no, none of the above. It's the taxpayers' dollars, right?
And when they get the loan, it's still taxpayers that have to pay.
Yes, sir. So these things are troubling, Leonard. Like the guy Bukele says that you know you know you get the money and if you put it the right where it should go, we shouldn't have any problem, right? But if you steal it, that's where the problem comes in, right? It's easy, it's elementary. And now, Leonard, we see you know they're getting caught one by one, and you know that, right? And then what they did with the Perez guy from in the Keys when he got caught. The same thing they did with the Perez guy.
They send him
the
on
same
paid
thing
vacation.
they're doing, yes, sir. And so sadly again, you know, they went home vacationing with taxpayers' dollars again, right? Having a lot of fun with, you know, I think these people should be sent home, take away their vehicle, and with no pay. Right? That's how I feel, right?
Same here, sir.
Right? But now, you remember the little phrase, Leonard, you know, it'll blow away like a little breeze? Say something about that, Leonard. You know, say something.
Well, right now, the Prime Minister hope that the pressures will in the under will blow away like a little breeze, too. Like everything else. Because it seems to me that whenever something happens, they claim that in the case of the Prime Minister, in his own words, when they're asking him about the issue of the payments, he's claiming that it's the civil service people that does the work. He doesn't know anything about that. So he's throwing the civil service under the bus, like to say, well, the civil service are going to make payments without proper authorization from them or him. When he's the Minister of Finance, and he's supposed to make sure that the government finance or government money is taken care of adequately and spent or distributed adequately. Then he turns around and says, well, he doesn't know anything about what's going on in his department. So what the hell is he getting paid to be the head of that department for then? Turn that over to somebody else. You know, there's somebody else who won't pay attention or who won't find out or figure out or try to know what's going on. Take the job or get the job. So he don't know that his department is being hustled. So he wants the the auditor general now to go and investigate. When if the auditor general was doing her job, she wouldn't have to go and investigate nothing because her job would have been telling her that from 2022 these racketeering actions been going on. She'd have known that by virtue of knowing, you know, how these things were happening, when it was happening, and before these people got the money out of the government coffers. Because then Mr. Wade, the financial secretary again, works right out of the Prime Minister's office again. He won't claim that maybe there might be something wrong there based on what they are now discovering. Now discovering. It's his job to know these things. It's his job to make sure that the people that get paid, and it's his job to know that they are getting paid for proper services rendered to the government, not to get paid for overpriced goods and or to get paid contrary to the rules and regulations of how payments is supposed to be made, so that he can now claim that, well, something must have been happening and they didn't know about it, but they're going to look into it now. It looks bad, so now they're going to look into it. It's been looking bad from the time it was been happening for months and years. And they haven't been doing their job. But they have been collecting a salary and other benefits. And that's good enough for them to help with whatever else is going on. Like I said, the man said, if the money is applied properly, there would be enough to take care of the business. But if it's not applied properly, you know, that's why the work can't get done. These people think they're dealing with fools, you know, and they keep taking us for fools at every step of the way. And every time they get caught, well, they didn't know about it, they will investigate. And out of the so-called investigation, nothing happens. No changes get made. And they keep taking us for fools. Because the cycle is repetitive. Almost every government department right now is pulling some kind of hanky-panky game and bleeding the treasury of the country. And yet the Prime Minister will say, oh, it's not stealing. No, not stealing. He's saying it's not embezzlement. It's just a little person here stealing something, you know, here, there, and everywhere. Like, in other words, it's not endemic. And it's obvious that if all that money, that literally millions and millions of dollars that is being embezzled all over the different payment process and the government transfer of funds to the government, if all those millions of dollars were to be available to the government would be able to do better than they're doing right now. But that's not their interest. They're not interested in doing proper government, much less good governance. They're just on the big hustle. Almost all of them. Because the records is there. And that is only the parts that we're getting to know about right now. What about the parts that we don't know anything about so far? Or we have not seen? Because if it's that widespread in one government department, are we to believe that that's the only department we have this type of hanky-panky going on? Anyhow, I yield back, Mr. Chairman, because it looks like the chairman is in the background working and he might come on. So,
Leonard, you know, in my humble opinion, I think that Mr. Wade, not Wade, Waight, should have been sent home along with Mira, along with the CEO, and along with the man that deals with the finance in these departments, right? These are the four people I think that should have, you know,
they're not doing their job
home in respect of the taxpayers' money, right? And sent home without pay, right, until the matter is put before the court, right? Guys, that's outright stealing, Leonard.
Some of them
that's how I see it, right? Outright stealing. The money is not yours, right? And yet you're going to do whatever you feel like with it, and it's there to do for a specific reason, and you're going to do something else with it. You know, that's stealing.
Mr. Chairman, can I bring up a specific point? It is now known that the accounting system have some errors in there, or I wouldn't even call it errors. It has some specifically designated areas where they can enter the same account number twice, bill twice, and just put a little, some identifier, uh, maybe a little X or a little star or something, and the system will accept those two same account number and process them and pay them out. How much of that has been going on? Not to talk about the overpriced goods or the non-delivery of some of the goods for which payment is being received also. Because I can recall the BDF used to say they're not getting enough rice, they're not getting enough meat, chicken, they're not getting enough, different things they were complaining about. Under the previous, under Mr. What's his name? When Mr. Marine was the head, okay, we had a big kerfuffle about that. So it's not no news, These things have been going on for years. So thank you very much for allowing me to bring that part.
So right on that, Leonard, as a farmer BDF, right? In my time, it was very different, Leonard, right? We didn't get tamales on a night shift,
Mm-hmm.
right? We had get good food, nourishing and as per, a good meal, right?
You're in the
And it's
elements. They're supposed to
so,
be
yes, Leonard, it's
treated
very
right.
disturbing. It's very disturbing for I cannot say 100% factual, Leonard, because they could put anything on Facebook, right, or anything on
Mm-hmm.
the media.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the soldiers, Leonard, the BDF are showing, as I speak, what they are getting on some of the shift because they go downtown to work now. They go about and they patrol the streets, and
Mm-hmm.
on the lunchtime, the vehicle will bring their food or that they meet in a designated area and they eat, right?
Yes, sir.
This shoulder, Leonard, is showing that he gets a tamales,
And
right?
that's it.
And I'm saying this to the public for public consumption and for the right people them to have a little shame, right? I want you to have a little shame, right? That is very uncalled for if it's true.
Mm-hmm.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Mr. CBDF, Mr. Minister, right? Mr. CEO, and the financial officer, okay? Should be along with Mr. Joseph Witt and along with the Prime Minister, because he's the head man, right? And this is what these soldiers are showing. In my time, I don't know about a damn tamales on my duty at night, or I'm sent somewhere, some location. I have never received a tamales, right? But that is what these guys are showing on social media. They are worn out boots, right? Not properly
Mm-hmm.
clothing, right? The right footwear is not given to them, right? And these guys, these ministers, these well-educated men have no shame at all, right?
Living large.
The same Mira guy talk about shortage of bullets,
I remember.
right? And he let the Guatemalans know that, right? The same, and sadly the man was a BDF man, and an officer per se,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what. Anyway, I'm talking in
That kind of
behalf.
strategic information should not be available
Exactly,
to
sir.
your mortal enemy.
The first time
Yeah.
I have ever heard that from a military personnel in my entire life. That's the first time I have very, very, and very disturbing, right? So, Leonard, like I say, as a farmer BDF, I feel for these guys, you know, because I know what it takes to be out there, to be on the front line. You understand what I'm saying, Leonard? You know,
Yes, sir. Definitely.
so we are only advocating for them. That they're treated right, right? They're paid right. Leonard, you remember these two that helicopter that went down?
Uh-huh.
There are a couple of the may their soul rest in peace. Their family hasn't gotten taken care of yet. You know
Why?
that?
Those people had kids, they had family.
But
Aren't you
Miss,
responsible for meeting those obligations in the absence of those people who died on duty?
I'm just saying, right? So Ashcraft get in one day $76 million.
Mm-hmm.
One day by Brisenio, the prime minister of this country. He produced it in the house, and that one day it was passed. And Ashcraft, that is $76 million in one day. You don't play around with Mr. Ashcraft. You could give the soldier tamales, and you could do whatever you want with the. But with that man, you got to, you know, Mr. Mira, he sent home with a nice paycheck. With all the goodies, nothing has been taken away from him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or to have the soldiers, punishing, right? So, it's so sad to see these kinds of things happening, and 2026, Leonard, the living conditions of our security forces, right? So sad. Um, I I'm speechless now, Leonard. Go ahead.
I see the chairman not fully activated yet.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know if we should broach another subject, but we could probably stay on the same subject for a little bit
Sure, the
more.
same, sir, because
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
what's happening right now. Oh, and another thing, Leonard, let me educate the public, right?
Go right ahead, sir.
It is very wrong, Leonard, to take a soldier, a BDF personnel, trained BDF personnel, and put him on the street along with civilians to patrol the streets and to preserve law and order. It is very wrong
That
for the authorities, the CBDF, the minister, and all the upper echelon. It is very wrong for them. You know what they're setting up these poor guys to do? Right? Now, the right way to do it, Mr. Who is the Mr. Espat and Mr. Marin? The right way to do it, you need to send the soldiers, the BDF personnel, to a class and educate them about the laws of Belize.
police work,
Police
train them.
duties, train them. That's what you need to do. Don't put these guys in harm's way and in civilians in a very, very delicate situation. These soldiers have live wrongs, Leonard. I'm telling you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
On the streets, they got a magazine with live wrongs. Mr. Minister, Mr. Brisenio. It's not, it's different. It's a different situation than putting your BDF on the front line, on the patrol the borders. It's different scenario, Mr. Man, and putting them amongst your
It's about
civilian
it's
people.
about intimidation, sir.
Okay? And all you're doing to these poor guys is setting them up in a situation that might be detrimental to a civilian and to that BDF. Okay? So that's what I wanted to put out there. And because they're boasting about it, and they're boasting about putting the BDF on the streets. foot patrol on the streets with the BDF. Very
That
dangerous
that
scenario, Mr. Commissioner.
that Mr. Chairman, that should only happen during a legal, lawful, and constitutionally correct state of emergency. It shouldn't happen during just
Amen to that.
non-emergency situation,
Amen to that.
and it should be and it shouldn't be a year-long situation like they've been doing. They have the BDF in Belize City all through the year without any declared SOEs at that. So they are getting the people used to this idea that powers can be used against the people illegally, unlawfully, and unconstitutionally. But because they decide to do so, it should be well accepted. And that's on its face is crazy.
There
I
you
just
go,
need to
Leonard.
fix my electricity here. I pulled out my card for it. Go ahead, Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman.
so true on that. So I just wanted to put that out there of what is actually happening, you know, in the city, right? And around the country too, right? So sad to see how these leaders, so sad to see how they think, Leonard, right? So
And it's not
sad to
because they don't know
see.
better.
Yes, sir.
It's not because they don't know better.
So I'm calling on the ministers, calling on the police commissioner, right? Because he has a stake in it, right? I'm calling on the prime minister,
Um,
right?
he's basically an ignoramus, So calling on him
Yes,
is of
sir.
no, significance or
Oh,
have no value.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we see his display publicly, right? Publicly, it's not nothing that we haven't seen and the public hasn't seen his action, right?
He keeps speaking to matters that he doesn't know anything about or appear to know anything about, and then when he speaks to those matters, you know, he says things that doesn't add up or doesn't make no sense, or things that he shouldn't be saying, even if they were to make sense or if they were correct. They are not things that he should be verbalizing. But he's so drunk on power to the point where he feels like anything that comes out of his mouth should be well accepted. And when he's rebutted and put in his place in terms of his ignoramus conduct and behavior, he wants to feel offended. He wants to act like a thin skin, you know.
Yes, sir.
And the problem is that the man have powers, the powers of the police under his wings, and he misused and abused those powers with impunity because his bosses doesn't tell him anything about his wrongdoing. And when these police officers they go out there and commit crime under the color of law, they don't check them and allow them to be interdicted and be dealt with effectively. What he does is he gets on the airwaves and he starts making excuses for them because everything they do, don't care how wrong it is well done according to him. So we don't need his butt. Like one person said before, he's acting like a cartoon character. That yes, get under his skin, and for that he was asked the question as to whether or not he really believes that he's acting like a cartoon character, and he's going to turn around and say, well, he doesn't want to dignify those kind of comments or respond to that because as far as he's concerned, he he was hired to do his job, and he's doing his job the way it is intended to be. When that is the complaint of the people, he's not doing what he's intending to do or supposed to do. He's promoting people who have committed crimes, and the ones who are not committing crimes are being left behind. That's not proper leadership in the police department. Good night, Bill. Yeah. Are you back, Mr.
So
Chairman?
so right on that, Leonard. The Corporal Choco, Corporal
Mm-hmm.
Choco,
Mm-hmm.
at the time of the kidnapping of Budna was on the tape and for the public to see who he was, and he came afterwards and say he was coercing to giving a false report,
Right.
right? He didn't even give that report at the station. He says he went to a house, a senior officer house, and he
Okay.
was instructed to
To
give
change
that.
his, yeah, to change what he had already
Oh,
written down originally, to change
yes,
it so
sir.
it comports with what they were doing under the second investigation that the lady
My people, yes, Leonard, my people and the nation. This
bunch
came
of
from his
rascals.
mouth. Not from my mouth or Leonard's mouth. No, this came from the corporal, right?
And he
In
was
his own
promoted.
words,
He was
Leonard, right?
promoted as a means of
Yes,
suborning him.
yes.
Okay.
He was promoted, right?
So how can the
But
DPP get any proper investigation done to
yes, sir.
pursue the case? They don't want the case to be pursued.
Then this very same man that promoted him, Mr. Rosado,
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner of Police, we
Scoundrel.
saw on the press conference on the kidnapping of Budna. We saw that as public display of his ignorancy, his choice of words, and later he came back and apologized when they caught him. And certainly he apologized. Right?
That's how ignoramus people operate. That's why I
Exactly.
use the
Right.
term ignoramus. I didn't use
Has
it
he
out
changed,
purposely.
Leonard? You said it right. Has he changed?
Has no intention to, at least not based on his behavior or current conduct.
Right. So all these things, has to be, brought to the public because it's not right. And a lot of these guys, Leonard, fail to realize that they works for the public. The public is the one that pays their bills.
Mm-hmm.
They fail to realize that. And he says that he has gotten no request from no minister. Nobody minister asked him to do nothing, right? And he's not like that. And he's
Uh,
not.
Mr. Chairman, can I address that point? I
Yeah,
heard him when he made that statement. Can I address that point specifically?
go ahead, Leonard.
How dare him to make such a statement that he does not get any information from any minister or any request from any minister to do his job? Then how the hell did the Bunna affair happen then? Because I'm definitely sure the Prime Minister didn't go and commit the crimes of the Bunna affair on his own or personally in public. What we saw in public there on the tapes were known police officers violating their code of conduct and the rule of law, violating the constitutional rights of an unarmed citizen, beating down that citizen to the point of of almost killing him on behalf of somebody else who gave them instructions above their head, as as was told to Mr. Choko, that these other officers who were committing that crime was committing that crime on behalf of bigger people above them who directed them to go ahead and commit that crime. And those bigger people above them were, for example, the person that authorized the release of that gun from the armory. And the officer who was above them that gave them permission to get that gun released to them, when the gun that was supposed to have been released wasn't available, he authorized for them to get another one, which is the one that we saw them using the butt of the gun to beat the man so many dozens of times all over his body, as if they were dealing with a criminal who had committed a crime and they were trying to maybe arrest him to take him to jail for. They didn't even arrest the man and take the man to no jail. Then take him across the border and deliver him to a foreign country or mortal enemy with whom we have no extradition agreement.
With a file too. With
Exactly.
a was hand over the man plus a file to the police over there, right?
So
Or
then,
whoever accepted Budna over there,
how then
right?
that police commander for that armory right there on, I think it's Mahogany Street. Okay, how come he gonna take it on his own to order those other lower police officers to go and commit that crime in his name on behalf of somebody that's above him? Who is above him? Who is above the commanders in the police department? The succession um or the chain of command from the commanders and above leads directly to the same person that when the action happened, he got himself out there in public and led the statement about none of his officers were involved in that activity. He was telling us, for all intents and purposes, don't believe our own lying eyes on what we were seeing on the tape. Believe what he was trying to say to us, which was to bamboozle us, lie to us. And he's supposed to have any credibility about being the commissioner of police, on whose behalf or whose direction that matter was taken care of. Who the hell is above him that would have authorized him as the chief, as the commissioner of police, to order any of his subordinates, as in the case of the commander of that division, to take some of his personnel, commit a crime in the presence of other police officers, and to have those police officers, the man that was in charge of that particular station at that time, is a whatever his name was, to allow them to go ahead, commit the crimes that they were committing, and not stop them when it was his responsibility as a police officer and uh, what they call him, the CO,
We'll,
no, not
we'll
CO,
see.
the WC of that particular police station at that night. Why would he allow himself, to be suborned by officers who were supposed to be junior to him? There's only certain officers that have authority given to them by the commissioner of police, that have any authority above the other police people them, and that those officers are in the special operation organization of the police units, that they can operate in just about any jurisdiction throughout the whole country, north, south, east, and west. That's the way the protocols and the procedures are set up. And there are only certain people that can exercise the rights to tell those people what to do and not do, when and how. The OC could not stop them or tell them not to, because they are above the OC in terms of the ranks and the powers that prevail. But it seems like most people don't realize or know that. Well, of course, they wouldn't be expected to know it. If they don't know the basic constitution, how they going to know protocols or procedures of the police department, which is a much bigger um, volume in terms of, you know, how the system operates. But at the end of the day, he, Mr. Commissioner Rosado, he should be embarrassed to come out here and tell the people that no superior officers of his, such as the police minister and or the prime minister, has, would be giving him or asking him to commit any crimes on their behalf. Because that's, for all intents and purposes, what happened. This is a well-organized issue, and for that, all of them fall into line to try and make sure that none became of this process, including 3 investigations, and probably another one on the way right now. Because that matter has not gone away like a little breeze as they thought it would have. And at some point in time, hopefully sooner rather than later, some of those evidence are going to come out and made use of in the public, in a public setting, more likely in a judicial process. But we'll see. Are you back, Mr. Chairman?
You're so right on that, Leonard. So right on that. So if they think that that matter has gone away, uh, it has to be addressed at some point. Maybe
Um,
not in their government, but I'm
Sorry,
pretty sure.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
I
sir.
think I think I see. Just a second,
Just
please.
bring on, yeah, Mr. Morrison. Bye.
Good
Good
evening.
night,
Good
Mr.
evening. Sorry.
Morrison. Good night, night.
Good
It's
evening,
a
Uh,
Mr.
pleasure.
Morrison.
I was sitting
Pleasure
in the back
to.
there listening a little bit. Yes. Good evening.
I saw
Yes,
the back the thing in the background, but I thought it was Greg. I'm Greg
Oh,
Brackett,
yes, yes, yes. Sorry, sorry.
and that's and because he can bring himself on, I didn't bring you on. I didn't realize it was you
Oh,
sitting there. Sorry about that, sir. My
no problem.
Mr.
No problem.
Morrison. I
No
I
problem.
I I give you the floor, sir.
Yeah,
I
thank
give
you
you the
very much.
floor,
Thank
sir.
you very much. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
I heard a little bit of what you're saying about the situation we have with so much corruption and then the pretense and the reason why we can't get rid of this issue, and the reason is because it need to be adjudicated. Some serious crimes was committed, and there are some people very high ups that are very culpable and seem to have intentionally, mischievously broken our laws in some real serious ways with consequence that they should actually be paying some serious you know they should be paying they should be it was serious and they should be paying the
They should be
consequence
charged,
of,
Mr. Morrison. They should be
yes.
charged.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
what I
sir.
was going. I wanted to say jail time,
Yes,
but I
sir.
didn't want
Yes,
to
sir.
get there. I didn't want to get there so fast,
Yes, sir.
because it is very serious, and it seems that the we're hopeful now that the new minister that's safeguarding this portfolio will address this issue. He have looked at many things, and he seemed to be a little bit more conscious than some of them that came. But I'm sure they all get their instructions from the prime minister,
well,
because he was the
the,
one.
the new minister said that himself. Exactly what you just said. They
Yeah,
get the
yeah,
instruction from the prime minister.
yeah.
So I don't think we are supposed to expect any different.
Well,
Go ahead, Mr. Morrison.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm hoping that as they keep nudging at it and going at it, it's like you said, Mr. Brackett, it's not going away. And so there need to be a resolution. I remember, I think it was the Attorney General that came out and said, oh, this matter will be settled with in a civil court. And what he was basically saying, the people and government of Belize will have to up some money for this wrongdoing that these political and police officers did. That's what I think. That's the code I think he was sending to us.
You got,
That
you got that correct, sir.
we don't want to bring this criminally, because it will be too exposed and too
Odious.
dangerous for us. But we'll let the Belizean people on the hook again for this misconduct. So these are the serious problems we have in our governance, that when we say to people and we look at public servants and we look at different people and we say, why are so many people willing to turn the other side in terms of compliance and law about compliance and such, and instead will act in ways that will just obscure the law, break the law, and do whatever it is that will not make us look like a legal place. You know, sometimes some people say Belize is not a real place, and sometimes I smile and I echo the same sentiments. But we really need to step away from that, because Belize is a real place with real people that are suffering the consequences of these misbehavior, these neglect, and these unlawful actions of our government. So thank you very much, Mr. Wade.
Mr. Morrison and Leonard, like that last statement you made there, Mr. Morrison, I feel like the reason why these people behave, these leaders behave in that manner and repetitiously, past and present, is because that, they know that whatever wrong they have done to someone, that person do not have the resources to fight them.
Mm-hmm.
right? While they have the backing of the same taxpayers' money, the
Mm-hmm.
same they right.
Mhm.
So, Mr. Morrison, it's so sad to see how these people operate. Okay, it's
Yeah.
so sad,
We
right?
saw that with the Mr. Jeremy Enriquez case where they blatantly broke the law, and then they sabotage it in every way, and then they in the end they try to, as a show face, bill him for for them not complying with the law. You know that was supposed to be a warning. Don't come challenge us. And this is the government doing this. This
Mm-hmm.
is the government. So fortunately, in that case, right, the
So
judge
sad.
was very cognizant of what was going on, and he ordered them to pay the legal fees for Mr. Enriquez, taking them to court to try and bring about the justice for the constituents redistricting and those efforts. So it is a tough business when we are dealing with our government and the miscarriage and the abuse of power that they exercise and are so willing to blatantly toss in the face of good abiding citizens just to sabotage them. That's why sometimes people says Belize is a very democratic place. You know, democracy doesn't function the way in Belize the way it should. Even in the United States, we are having some problems with it at some points here. But truly in Belize, it doesn't function. And maybe to some degree, because of the colonial past and stuff, it was never intended to really generate the impetus and the social and political gathering that it was supposed to. It was never made real in some instances, but truly the way we have tied it and hamstrung it and bottleneck it, we create even more issues of not having the ability to exercise our democracy. And that's one of the things if I have another minute, that's one of
Go
the
ahead, go
things
ahead, and I'll go
I,
to Leonard.
I believe that we need to kind of look at. And that's why I'm also glad for the review of the constituents that they're going to be doing in the redistricting. And I'm hoping that as time goes by, we will find ways to expand our democracy. I'm listening to speeches continuously on other Caribbean countries, Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm seeing a kind of lifting up of these um, presidents and prime ministers of these countries. And I'm seeing stepping forward. I don't know how real it is on the ground, but the rhetoric we're hearing from them, what they're saying, seem to be in line and to some degree a positive message that is supposed to empower their people and their country. And I am finding that totally lacking from our governance or prime minister or any of the government ministers that we are. All we see is cover and defend and steal. That's what we're getting. Every effort they make is to cover themselves, cover each other, cover their family, and whatever they are doing, it doesn't seem like it reach out to embrace the interests of the people. It doesn't look like it sort of prepares our country for the future. It doesn't, like we were saying, broaden our democracy and expands on it and try to make lives really better for all of our people. Yeah, some
Thank,
people will benefit under the system we have. Some people will get, and most of the time it's going to be a political stalwart. It's going to be a family, a cousin, a son, a niece, somewhere in that realm of possibility.
that's
But
that's the way
talk
it's set
about,
up, Mr. Morrison.
yeah,
That's the
but
way they have
talk,
it set up. Yeah.
yeah, talk about for the just the regular everyday person that just wants to live and build and develop himself and his country in that space. It doesn't seem like unless you tie yourself to some political party bigwig or something, it doesn't happen. I was
That,
looking and saw that at one point they were going to probably ask the mayoral candidate, Mr. Miller, to step down and not challenge. This is the PUP mayoral election that's coming up in March, I think, um, and from Mr. Palin. And it seems like they went back and they're now going to have a, 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 uh, a
one more
convention.
minute. Again, another minute
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
Mr.
yeah. It
Mr.
looks like they're
Morrison.
now going to have a convention. What I'm thinking
Could,
is
could we
that,
could we deal could we deal with that as another subject just after one? And
oh, that's
just
fine,
allow
that's
me to
fine,
make a
that's fine.
comment on the previous thing that we were talking, and then we just
Yes,
switch to the next
yes.
subject now that you're bringing up, which is
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead,
yeah,
Leonard. I give you
on
five
the
minutes, Leonard,
no,
because
I
we
won't.
are about
Yes, sir,
here.
but I won't take that much because I just
Okay,
wanted to
okay,
touch on something that Mr. Morrison had brought up.
okay, okay. Go ahead, go
Um,
ahead.
the issue of the government, for example, okay, let me say it in a different way. What I was about to say, I want to say it in a different way because I think I might make a little bit more sense. When you mentioned just now about the Caribbean countries doing so much or trying to do so much for their country and their people,
Hmm.
do you see, like for example, Mr. Morrison, any of those leaders in those countries bringing in people from abroad, whether from the other islands or from wherever, into their little space and overwhelming their local population and changing the demography of their population in order for them to be able to gain or control power? Do you see any of them
yeah.
behaving like that as compared to
To
what
you,
we do?
Mr. Morrison, go ahead,
You
go
got a
ahead.
question?
Answer,
You got a
yes, no,
question?
answer.
Yeah, no, we don't see that. We don't see that. In fact, those people are very nationalistic and very protective of their turf. But our government, pro- particularly this Brazilian government, they seem to have no um, allegiance to how this country was founded and developed and the core builders of this country. And so they easily washed away. And that is why the Prime Minister 3 weeks ago could easily say we'll get rid of the LIU because the constituents are young black men and Creole families that are mainly the benefit and recipient of this policy, of this program. And they are the recipient because of failed policies in education, failed policies in housing, failed policies in making the effort to create a environment where jobs can be created. Instead, they just keep the city locked down and bottleneck and SOEs and these and not do the real work of governance and protecting and developing the country so that we can move away from these issues of violence. We can't
Yeah,
find
let Leonard
space
finish,
and
Mr.
move.
Morrison, and I'll come back to you here.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. Go ahead,
On that
Leonard.
same
Uh-huh.
on that
Okay.
same point about these SOEs, when they throw these SOEs in the mix in the different communities, they go about harassing and brutalizing people in the community, and those people end up being hauled into Hattieville and they are given a police record, whether they had one before or not. By them having police records, it's hard for them to get a job at home, much less travel abroad to any other country, especially now with the new system where the government is now volunteering to provide electronic
Yeah.
uh, um, IDs for each and every individual in the country. You cannot buy or sell without your ID. You cannot, get any benefits without that special ID. And that special
Yeah.
ID
Yeah.
is going to be used by foreign countries to track your motions or movements wherever, across their borders. Like first, we could have been run from Belize and run to America, get to only refugees over here. If you can't find a job or get no benefits or nothing back in Belize, the bottom line is that these guys are operating not in the interest of the Belizean people. They're selling us out lock, stock, and barrel for a few dollars. They're getting a little small donation from the International Migration Organization for them to house thousands and tens of thousands of people, but they're not getting enough of the money to actually house those people adequately on the outside dam. So those people have to depend on the inside dam that we have, that we don't have enough dams to get along with and survive. So our pie has to be shared for a lot more people. Like for example, the other day, how many thousands of people they had that they were legitimizing, and how often they do that? How many per year? How many every decades? To the point, as I said, the whole demography is changing. These guys have a different agenda than what those other people who also were colonial minded people back in the days, right? When they were under the British colony or the Spanish colony or the whatever other colony, the Dutch and
Mm.
whoever else. They also have colonial mentality, but they're looking after their country and their people since they got their independence.
Yeah.
These guys use independence as a crutch for them to do violence to the local Belizeans and to dismiss them and marginalize them and basically, to push them at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Then they turn around and say, well, they're
Right.
lazy, they don't want to work, they don't want this, they don't want that. They can't get a job.
Yeah.
They have police record.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Everything today is
Go ahead,
creating
Mr.
what they're
Morrison.
calling.
We have 9 more minutes left, Mr. Morrison. I give you three out of that
Okay. Okay.
9 here.
Yeah, I was going to add to what Mr. Brackett was saying was
Mm-hmm.
that we are creating the situation where everything is creating a digital footprint, as they call it now. So
Hmm.
your record now is going to track you wherever you are because it's going to be entered into a international database.
Uh-huh.
So you say you're from Belize and your name is this, your Belize social security number is this. It's going to pop up somewhere. It's going to pop up everywhere. And so we need to, as a people and as a country, start thinking positively, and our government needs to start taking the initiative to protect its citizens and to educate them and to give them opportunities, because this world of AI and cyber technology and robotics and all that,
Dangerous.
it's
Dangerous.
it well, it has its danger, but it's coming, and there's no way we could avoid it. So we have to find ways of positively embracing it and to adopt it and be some of the early adopters of it. And we have an intelligent, genetically smart bunch of people, and we have a small population. So there's no reason why, if we start implementing these schools, these programs in our schools, that we could not really bring our population up to a fast pace of it. You see, so I'm hoping that we start getting our leaders that are constructive and are positive and are foresighted in terms of starting to realize that we cannot keep doing what we're doing. We cannot keep steal. They cannot keep stealing. They cannot keep neglecting the people. They need to start thinking nationalistic and build and use the resources of the country to the benefit of the people.
Thank you.
Back to you, Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you. Thank you, Mr. Morrison. Well said. Leonard, I give you 3 minutes, my brother.
Thank you very much, sir.
For
I'd
the,
like to
yeah.
add to what Mr. Morrison was saying just now and compliment his
Well said, Mr.
well,
Morrison. Well
yeah,
said.
well put together thought. And I would like to say as well is that while these people, okay, on our show sometimes we talk about the ills or we talk about the wrongs or different things, but we also many a time try to contribute ideas, positive ideas for solutions.
Shoot.
I would like to point out part of the reason why these guys behave the way they behave. Instead of working for the whole country, they're working for themselves, their immediate family members and friends. And they're the ones who are creaming off the top of the society, and they are the ones who are expected to succeed and survive and economically benefit to the point where they don't have these as major concerns about their family falling short or not being able to find the next meal, as compared to the average mass of the population who are currently at 60 something percent poverty rate, according to the International Poverty Index. Okay, So these guys are not trying to resolve those things with good governance policies of state. They're implementing policies of state that benefits foreign entities who have them under the thumb because they want to be able to have their visa and use their visa to go and spend their money and enjoy their fine time. They could care less about what's going on with the rest of the country. And that's the reality that we do face. We do not have people who are committed to good governance. Otherwise, the country would be much better off, and they themselves probably could have more to steal because it will be a much more economically vibrant society. Okay, Belize can produce a lot of stuff that the rest of Central America need or that the other Caribbean countries they need. But the only people that are benefiting from those agreements are the Mennonites, for example, who are exporting chickens, they're exporting rice, they're exporting beans, and they have nothing to do in terms of providing any taxes or any benefits to the central government in Belize or to the Belizean people. You go and look at their community, and their community look like some of these American towns, okay, compared to a Belize City or a Belmopan or any other area in our country. They're well taken care of. Everybody in the society are working. Everybody, they have what they need to be able to survive.
Could
Everybody
I
has
ask you a question? Could I
Why
ask you a
can't we
question,
do?
Mr. Brackett?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In the Mennonites community, their road and infrastructure, is that supported by the government of Belize tax dollars, or do they do
Some
their
some of
own infrastructure?
some
Some
of it is.
some of it, Mr. Morrison.
Some of it is. But they also
But
do their own internal thing too.
yeah,
Why can't we do that? Which is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As a
No,
country,
I wanted to
we should be
express
able
that.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I yield back the rest of the time, Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Leonard, Mr. Morrison. It's always a pleasure to have you. And it's always, we saw you well, we didn't know it was, we thought it was Greg in the background, right? And Leonard said he could bring in
Okay.
himself, right? But
Oh,
sorry
I was
about
only
that,
there for like 10 minutes. No, it's not
Yeah,
long.
yeah, sorry about that. And like I say, it's always a pleasure to have you with us. And Leonard, it's
Thank you.
always a pleasure to, sit with you, my brother, right?
So my pleasure too, Mr. Chairman.
we speak on issues, Mr. Morrison, that directly affects our people, and we always offer a little solution to, but who are we to, some of the things that we have offered for them to do, they have done some of it. I could attest to that, but who are we, but
But we need to move a lot faster. Times are moving, and the
yes,
pace of this is accelerating. That if we don't make these moves quickly, because we're already way behind, and every time we
exactly,
do these silly things, we compromise ourselves and we spend millions and
exactly,
millions of dollars wastedly, and we don't have a lot of money. And
Mhm.
$1
yes,
million or $2 million could make a lot of difference in communities. In a
yes.
school, we could provide lunch. We could make sure that some kids have the
I
lunch.
give it a closing, Mr. Morrison. Right, I give it two
Sorry,
minutes to close
I
out.
didn't mean
Yeah.
to take over.
No, no,
I
no.
didn't,
I give 2 minutes. No, go ahead. Go
Mr.
ahead. I
Chairman,
want you to
Mr.
close.
Chairman, just before Mr. Morrison move forward,
Yes,
let,
sir. Yes,
let's
sir.
let's point out, or let me point out to him part of what he's saying right now germanes to what you started the program out earlier with. That is,
Oh yes.
we are in
Oh
June to
yes.
December, June to November, the hurricane season, and you're saying,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison, that those little monies, a million here and a million there, could
yes,
serve the purpose of helping different communities. We
yes,
were talking about needing money to fix some of those
shelters.
hurricane shelters or different places and so on
Yes,
for the hurricane season. Every year we
yes,
know
Yes, sir.
from June to November this thing gonna happen.
Yes, sir.
And we make
Yes,
yeah,
no
sir.
preparations, we allocate no funds, we do nothing to prepare for it.
Okay.
And I
yeah.
don't know if these guys are just waiting for a big hurricane to happen and a lot of people get hurt and
Let's
damaged
see.
and whatever else that, and then so we could have some big international support or assistance. To me,
Thank you,
sometimes when I
Leonard.
think cynically, that's
Yeah,
why I think.
yeah. But
Thank
Okay?
you,
most
Mr.
of the time,
Morrison. Mr.
yeah,
Morrison, I give you 2 minutes to close out our program.
okay. Well, I just want to say thank you, gentlemen, and I want to say also thanks to the people that tune
Welcome,
in
sir.
on all these days that we have, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. and we discuss the issues that are relevant to us wherever we are as Belizeans, whether we're sitting in Belize, whether we're in the diaspora, because the need to make sure that we can make our government redress the issues we have or concerns. And we shouldn't be timid because they actually work for us. And we actually have ways of holding them accountable. And so we need to start being active in our democracy and in the exercising of our franchise or vote and get out and vote and stay involved and participate in every part of our governance. If you see an issue, people need to make sure that they write a letter or they go and speak to their
Yeah,
area
representative.
representative or their omnibusman when they have one. We need to make sure that we're not encouraging in the level of corruption that's going into our society because it is good when we could do something and get something expedited and get it done and not have to deal with the issues. But I think in the end, we have reached, at this point, we have reached such a level of corruption that the wheels of government have grind to a stop unless you could put something on the side to make it happen. And so we
Mm-hmm.
need to make sure that as individuals, we stop participating in it and demand that these civil servants perform their job, and when they don't, we find a way of holding them individually accountable and through the system. So thank you all for
Well said.
inviting me,
Well said, Mr.
and
Morrison.
it's a pleasure being here as always with you
Thank
people.
you very
Thank
much
you,
for
Bless you
sir.
gracing
all.
us, sir, and for putting on the table
Leonard,
what you brought. God
go
Thank
bless
you.
ahead,
you.
Leonard, and close up us.
Uh, um,
Close us out,
I'll leave the
Leonard,
closing
please.
for you, Mr. Chairman. I'll just
No, we're
before saying
already
thanks to
out.
Mr.
We're
Yeah,
out.
no,
1 minute. Let me take a minute then
go ahead,
again.
man, go ahead. Yeah,
Thanks
no,
to
I was just
our
trying to thank Mr. Morrison and commend him for
yes,
what he
sir.
brought to the table. You know,
Yes, sir. Thank you very
I yield
much.
back, sir. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much again, Mr. Morrison and Leonard. It's always a pleasure to sit with you, my brother. And
Yeah, the
to
pleasure
the
is
people
mine, sir.
who watch us and who will view us a little later, thank you for that. Always, sharing our program and supporting us that way. Not with coin or money, but with the educational part to the wider people. Share our program and for them to see what we talk about here on our Belizean affairs show. Right. Thank you very
Okay.
much, and look forward for Wednesday,
Wednesday.
Wednesday night, God willing, and to.
Yes.
But well, I put in me a bid one time, Mr. Morrison. I
Yeah.
wish you find at that
We'll fall
time
in.
to show up with us again on Wednesday, sir. Yes,
I'll
sir.
think about it. I'll see what my schedule is. Thank you very
All
much for
right.
the offer. I'll let you know. Thank you.
All right. Yes, sir. One Leonard,
Good night,
looking
Belizeans at
forward
home and
for yes,
abroad.
sir.
This was the Belizean Affairs Show number 454.
54.
We're grateful for
Wow.
your time allocated, and hopefully, we have brought something to the table that may be of some positive public benefit to you, the Belizean people at home and abroad, and others. Good night and goodbye until Wednesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.